Hello, 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 my lovies. How are you guys doing? My name is Franny, and I also go by Empress Foxxy. Welcome to 25 Days with Empress Foxxy. Today is day 4, and I am going to work on my budget. Now, I know that this is probably the craziest time of year, and you guys probably don't have a lot of time to watch my video, but I am just happy and so glad that you are here with me. I hope you guys are having a fantastic holiday season. I hope that everything goes smoothly, that it's quiet and full of love, and just have a great time. All right. So today we're going to set up my budget. This is check 1 of my 2 paychecks for the month. I know you're probably like, what does that mean? I get paid 2 times a month. Everything from the 1st to the 15th is paid on the 22nd, and everything from the 16th to the end of the month is paid on the 7th of the following month. So I only get paid 2 times a month. I don't have a magic check or a magic month where there's an additional check that comes in. So if the month is longer, if there's 31 days, like the months with 31 days, I feel like, I'm not gonna make it. But the months with 30 days, and I know it's only 1 day difference, but month with 30 days, I'm like, oh, okay, I can make it. So just so you guys know. All right, so before we get started, I wanted to start off with a question, just like an opportunity to get to know me, and I would love for you guys to answer in the comment section, so I can get to know a little bit more about you guys. All right. So the question for today is, what is your favorite board game? At the end of this video, I am going to answer that question. But think about some of your favorite board games, and we'll talk about it at the end of the video, okay? All right, let's start our budget. Does this look familiar? I hope so. I set up my budget or reset my budget at the beginning of the month. And the reason why I do that is so that I have a really good idea of what my finances look like for the month. I am very much a visual person. If I see it, it sticks in my mind. And if I don't see it, who knows? But long story short, what we are going to do is take the information from this calendar and transfer that into my notebook here. I'm starting a new notebook, even though I usually started at the beginning of the year. I decided to go ahead and start it this month because my other one was almost full from trying to make ends meet. I was like writing all over it. So this month I hope it's going to be a little uncomfortable because I changed the layout just a little bit. Okay, so I budget paycheck to paycheck. Actually, statistics, last I heard, 60% of Americans or people that live in the U.S. live paycheck to paycheck. I live paycheck to paycheck. I budget paycheck to paycheck. And so once everything is paid for the month, I put it into an account. The newest account that I'm going to really focus on this coming year, starting now, and all 2025 is my month ahead fund, because I feel like that's really going to set us up for success. I know it's going to take a while to get there, but I really know that that's going to set us up for success. Okay. And the crazy part is I used to budget paycheck to paycheck and have a month ahead. And then I don't know what happened, but sometime between 2021 and 2022 and 23, everything went downhill. So we're going back to basics. And so this is my calendar. I write down all my bills in the month. And then once I write them down and I pay it and I see that the item has been withdrawn, the funds have been withdrawn from my account, I highlight it. So let me get a highlighter. So bills that I know that I've already paid, okay, and that have already been pulled, my Discover. So I'll have that same bill at the beginning of the month. I still set it up because my next paycheck is going to take into account everything from the beginning of January, which will be the same bills. My home and water, and then Capital One. Okay. All right. So I've taken all of this information for the most part and transferred it over here. What I did at the beginning of the year was calculate how much I would need to save per paycheck per bill. For example, for home, it's usually about 3,000. I put home and water together, so it's usually about 3,000 to 3,100. So I automatically save $1,500 every paycheck. I hope you guys can see this. Okay, let me move this over a little bit, or give me one moment. What I did was, at the beginning of the year, I figured out how much I needed to pay for all my bills or save per check. Like I already mentioned, I save $1,500 per check for home and water. And then every check I calculate an average, or at the beginning of the year I calculated was the average amount for light, average amount for cable, average amount for internet. And that gave me an idea of how much I needed to save per check, just to make sure we pay all of our bills on time. So per check, I set aside $22.50. I had a brain for it. Sorry, you guys. So we set aside $22.50 per check. And that $22.50, $1,500 of it comes out for home and water. Then after that, my light bill on average is $350. And so when I work on my monthly fund, we'll really break this down a little bit more. But I just want to make sure that we set up our bills so that everything is paid on time. And every bill that is due between December 7th and December 22nd, I make sure that it's on our budget to pay on this check, because everything that's due after that would be paid on my next check, which is. And this $1,500 is not for the month that we're currently in, December. It's actually for January, just to clarify. All right, so next I have FP&L, which is Florida Power and Light. That's $277.92. And then my T-Mobile bill is $400.64. And so when I add those together, $277.92 and $400.64, that total is $2178.56. So right now, I say, OMG, what happened differently this month? Or is there a mistake in the bill? And for this month, we had some unique charges for T-Mobile, some international calls. So our bill is higher than anticipated. So I would usually make a payment arrangement if we don't have it in our budget. When I look at this, at my physical paycheck, whatever's left over, I might put it towards the bills. But the first thing I would do is look and see what happened. And then after that, set up a payment arrangement if you know you're not going to have the full amount, okay? So this is $464. But let's take a look at everything else, because when you look at how much I have to spend, which is $22.55, and I subtract the $2178.56, I have, let's see, $71.44 left. At this point, I know there's something that's not going to be paid in full, right? So then $22.50 right there. And that's usually what happens with my first check of the month, because the majority of the check of my bills are paid at the beginning of the month, sadly. This T-Mobile bill is literally due on the 21st, and I get paid again on the 22nd. And I just realized I forgot something. I did not include my rollover. Okay. All right, next up is Disney Plus. That is not due until February. I purchased gift cards on my November 22nd check, and that will pay up the bill to February, so February 2025. Planet Fitness is due on the 17th. That's $10.70. And then Amazon Prime, this is going to be a question mark, and I'm going to put the amount here, but I honestly think I'm going to cancel it. Okay, so that's why there's a question mark. So cancel question mark. Okay, so I'm going to deduct another $10.70. That brings my total to $21.89.26. Okay, we're getting there. Okay, so for bills so far, $21.89.70. Oh, 26. I'm really messing up my paper today. $21.89.26. Okay. I already paid my Discover card on the 22nd of last month. So NA paid. This credit card right here was the credit card that I told you guys that I paid off. Yes. So that is also paid. And then this credit card was paid on my previous check. So I'm going to put paid. That's why there's an NA. Okay. My Kohl's card is $21. So let's just say 30 bucks. And my second Capital One credit card is already paid. Okay. All right. So for debt for this month, it's literally only $30. Okay. All right. And then we have my cash envelopes that I consider bills. Anything that's left over from here, I would put towards my cash envelopes. So my daughter's tutoring is $45. I put the goal amount here. So for the month, I would need $135, $69, $250, and $250. These are items that I would like to pay before the end of the month. So I do have some wiggle room there. So I'm going to hold off. Let's take a look and see how much I have left from paying this. And I don't think there's much left, but let's take a look. Nope, I am over. So just as of right now, my total is $22.64.26. I am over by $14.26. So what? Okay, so it's time for a plan. This is where you look at all your finances and you're like, hey, I don't have enough to pay all the bills for the month. What can I do? What is really not due right now that I can push back? Or maybe I can change the amounts. So for the T-Mobile bill, since it's $400.64, right? If I have absolutely nothing left, and this is literally all I have on my check, my plan for this T-Mobile bill, I would pay the majority of the bill, but make a payment arrangement with T-Mobile, give them a call. They'll probably give you options on how to pay it. But for me, I only have a difference of $14.26. If it was more than that, I would make a payment arrangement, give them a call, and set up 2 payment arrangements. One to pay this pay period and the rest next pay period. I would pay whatever the difference is of what the bill is and what I have left over towards T-Mobile, and pay the rest. But for this one, this $14.26, I am just going to pull the funds from some of my sinking funds or the games. So and if you're new to my channel, just so you know, I do mini savings challenges throughout the month. I stuff my 52-week or a year of 20s challenge. I also play like Saturday group play games, which is all funds. I would just pull the money from one of those areas because it's only $15. Okay, so my game plan for this one, I'm going to pull the funds from one of my games. But this is a look at how my budget is looking for the first week of December. Yeah, it looks a little crazy. Sorry for all the handwriting and all the madness. So for the cash envelopes, I'm only going to add $45. That brought my total up to $2,264.26. And
up on the housetop, reindeer paws, out jumps school.
All right, so it is time. Question of the day. What is your favorite board game? For me, this one's a difficult question, and I think that's the reason why I'm starting with this one. I absolutely love Monopoly. And I think the reason why I love Monopoly is because that's the first board game that I learned how to play. As a kid, my mom did not believe in playing games in the house, so we didn't have toys. Well, we had toys until like the age of 7, and then at 7 is like, oh no, you grown now. My mom is from the Caribbean, so her mentality and how she feels about toys and games are completely different. I learned Monopoly in school, in middle school. Played it for the first time, like card games and all that. So I think the reason why I love Monopoly is, well, no, correction. The other reason is I love taking my the other players' money. I love taking their money. So yeah, I would have to say Monopoly. I also like playing Scrabble. I like Candyland, but like my all-time favorite at the moment. Ooh, does Shut the Box, like the box version, count too? If so, then yeah, I like that as well. All right, you guys, thank you so much for joining me today, and I hope you have a good one. Bye, lovies.